Hello and welcome to Wildin Out, your THL Wild Show. My name is ItsMeMikeV. I'm joined by NHL NJ Fan 1, also known as Marty, Memnarch, and Mattatarms, our guest for tonight. How's everybody doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Awesome.
It's a little late here, but all is well. So.
Yeah, I can imagine. How's your move?
It's going pretty well. Finally unpacked. Still getting used to the time over here. For anyone listening to this, I am currently OPing at 3 a.m. in Stockholm. So, very fun
good
times. Lord. So, all good. Anyways, we have a lot to talk about, don't we? We have your usual meta-analysis, a Mattatarms interview, and then a very special Darkmoon Faire preview where we take our most discussed cards and what we think are going to be experimented with on the first day the most. Cards that people have been talking about a lot. So, you guys want to get right into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
I think we diddle around for 5 more minutes. Then to it.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay, let me just start twiddling my thumbs and get a timer going. All right. So while Memnarch does that, let's look at the decks brought last week. So we have 31 archetypes. Unlike last week, more people are bringing counter decks for specific lineups. So things like Mech Paladin. There's only one Mech Paladin in total, and that was specific to a countering lineup. As far as other decks goes, Dark Lair is kind of seeing more representation than last week, proportionally speaking. So 11 people brought it last week, and 11 people brought it this week, but there are fewer people playing, so proportionally speaking, Dark Lair is doing pretty well. Outside of Dark Lair, we see a big shift in Warlock, too, with both Cube Lock and Discard Warlock. Discard Warlock down to 3 people bringing it. it's dropped so much in the last few weeks. Cube can have the same thing said for itself. It has been cut in half. Reno Lock is now the most popular deck, but it's neck and neck with Dark Glare. So, outside of that, the meta still feels pretty settled, with most people bringing Priest, Mage, and Warlock. The fourth most popular class has been Druid, followed by Warrior and Shaman, so take that as you will.
Yeah. I was one of the Dark Glare Warrior or Warlock bringers. It's also one of the two Reno Quest Mage bringers. No, it didn't turn out well for me.
But luckily for that, at that point, we were already moved on to the next round. But thankfully, yeah. Thankfully, we already did that. But yeah,
Well, I would say Dark Glare was still a good bring for you, considering it was banned, right?
Yeah, it was Dark Glare was banned. The Reno Quest Mage was what didn't turn out well, but I don't know. I think I just wasn't on my game at that time.
Yeah. So
I think that for our team, it was for me and Jack at least, it was Luna's Pocket Galaxy with Reno. That really messed up our opponent's brings.
you guys
Because
playing
we put in-
LPG?
Yeah,
Or them
because we put in we realized we were going to bring Galakrond Warrior, so we just put in a Frostlich Jaina, and they can't beat that.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
So,
Yeah, what was it? My opponent had to ban it. Jack's opponent banned the Reno Priest, and that Highlander mage just wrecked her. It was just good.
So, I don't want to give too much away, but I will say LPG Reno Mage is the most underrated archetype in the entire Wild series.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say how good it is, but people don't give it enough credit compared to other decks. So,
I believe you.
I'm sure you do. I have a super secret way of figuring that out. But
He has numbers, man.
well,
let's get this.
depends on how you view the numbers, because they're not very good ones, but they do tell a story, and those numbers can tell any story that you want. So,
That's how we
is
program
true.
Halbot, actually.
funny you say that. If I want, I could say Dark Lair is one of the worst decks in the game because one week it had an awful win rate. So, yeah, it's pretty funny like that. But
It's whatever your agenda
yeah,
wants,
pretty
right?
much. Pretty much. So, take that with a grain of salt, I guess. Who knows? Now, we do have our usual guest interview up next. Mattatarms, you want to get into it?
Sure, let's do it.
All right.
All right. So, Mattatarms, we all know what your favorite card is. What's your second favorite card?
I got to go with Jiraxis. It's a card that will never, ever, ever see play in Wild ever again. It probably will never ever be see play in Standard again. But we'll see what happens after the rework.
I was actually about to ask you the same thing. Is it ever going to see Standard play again?
It probably won't. It's 15 health is a lot. It's not a lot of health in any meta that exists now.
At this rate, they should just rework it into
Make
a
it a
hero
hu-
card.
They should
They
just turn
prob-
into a Death Knight.
Yeah, exactly. But still, you have to have that. Just destroy your hero, and all of a sudden you're just generating 6/6s. It's pretty sweet. It's the first card first legendary I ever opened. It's the first one that was ever gold as well, and that's what made me a Warlock main. So I love Jiraxis. It's such a great card that I never ever get to play.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so now for the more serious questions. How many sound bites do you have for this interview?
I just did a count about 15. I don't know why.
15 sound bites.
Most of them are like this, but I also have my some of my drops for THL PAL, like this one.
Oh, I don't think we're catching them for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Oh, weird. Oh, wait, hold on. User said, hold on, let me see. Video. Oh yeah, it's not doing it. Okay, hold on.
Oh
I can
no.
fix that real quick. Hold on.
Oh no. Anyways, while Mattatarms breaks our oh, that was Memnarch that broke it. Oh no, Memnarch is gone.
It's
Memnarch
not.
went, yeah,
It's
he
not
went.
abnormal.
Yeah. Okay.
It wouldn't be a show.
Oh,
There
I
they
heard
are.
something. Yes. Hello.
All right.
Yeah, I got those for THL PAL. I also have this
Random legendaries are always good.
because I just like that one a lot. Stuff like that. And later when we talk about the matchups,
So, here's where you're wrong.
and if you can name that card, I will be your best friend.
Man,
Oh.
give me like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, I also got, for the Intro to the Wild series.
For the wild.
And,
Take a walk on the wild side.
and that's about it.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Dalaran Aspirant.
Absolutely correct, sir.
Yes. I did not Google that right now. Don't worry. I will never.
Nerd!
There we go.
Okay, so with that said, what has it been like doing the weekly THL podcast? We know that you're wrapping it up and you're going to be passing the torch on to Isocles.
Yeah.
How has it been, though?
It's been a lot of fun, kind of paying attention to all the THL series the last 3 seasons. Just seeing players come up like you, Marty, especially like the last 2 seasons, just kind of come in and make it a big splash. I love seeing the Birth of the Wild series last season and the way it's grown this season. It's been phenomenal. It was one of those things where it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of prep, and it's 2 things I don't have in abundance lately. But it's it's one of those things where I'd still want to be part of the community, and most likely if Isocles could find somebody else to do it with him, I will be more than happy to produce the show in the background, put the audio tracks together, make it sound decent, and put it out there for the rest of all of y'all. So yeah,
Respect
if anybody's interested. Yeah, if anybody wants to, have weekly hot takes where, people can tell you all the time,
So, here's where you're wrong.
then do it. Come on in. So,
Yeah, that is
All right.
All right. Yeah, that's actually a really interesting offer, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So what has Powbot been up to in the past few weeks?
whole lot of nothing. Just sitting there doing,
I am Powbot.
just sitting there. We're just trying to figure out a way to modify the formula a little bit to make it a little more hot takey in Pro and Wild. It's got several hot takes in the PR series, but not so much in Pro and Wild. But
I have a solution.
what's that?
Put F2 Viridian as number 1 every week, and then
Okay.
put Power Creeps as last every week.
Actually, I was actually looking at the Palbots, the playoff Palbot stats, and the F2 Viridian has a very strong lead. They have like 106 points, and like the number 2 team is H2 is Haddleship with about 60. So yeah, you guys are looking good. So
I mean, it's clearly broken then.
Oh man.
All right.
So-
So, what cards are you looking forward to most in this expansion?
honestly, they're never going to see play in Wild, probably. But Ticketus, I opened it Golden. I love that card. I just love the idea of like burning somebody's deck into oblivion as many times as possible, and I can do that with Yasarj and things like Philosophy for some reason. If I just wanted to make bad cards and put even worse cards in the deck. Also, since I am a Warlock, I'm Deck of Chaos. I just love that card, and I hope it's good. I hope it's good in either format, honestly. That card's phenomenal.
Ticketus is like the biggest Timmy Johnny crossover card we've seen in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Massive
think-
bait.
I think it's awful.
Oh, it's that, and that describes me to a T. I'm the Timmiest Johnny you could have ever met. So come on, I love Jiraxis, so that needs to tell you all you need to know.
Yeah, it's a match made in heaven for you.
Exactly. So the fact that I can burn my own cards if I, am feeling spicy. Say I want to pull kelp my bombs onto the top of my deck and then burn bombs, sure. Or if I want to, corrupt it and burn your cards because I want you to feel bad. It's what I want to do. It's such a stupid card, and I love it. So
Awesome. Which decks are you planning to try tomorrow?
I built a 3-crafted a really low to the ground demons, like not even demon zoo, just like a low to the ground zoo. I always play zoo on day one, just try to make it work. Also, I built something very similar. If you look at the Vicious Syndicate standard list, there's a N'Zoth big druid that I want to try out.
Okay.
Oh, I did
That
see that.
actually looks kind of scary for standard. Like,
Yeah, and I was really low on the Fizzy Elemental, like when I was doing my card reviews for Off Curve with Steve Wicked Good.
Honestly, that's not even the deck I'm worried about for Druid and Standard. I'm more
Oh,
looking
no.
at the Clown deck.
Oh, the
And
Clown Fiesta deck.
Whatever that Clown card is, the 9 mana 4/4 taunt.
The 9 mana 4/4 corrupt. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. And then if you can find a way to play enough spells to slot Yogg in,
Oh yeah.
that deck is going places.
It's just the Clown. It's just going to be Clown Fiesta Druid.
Pretty
That's the
much.
way it's going to be. It's the way we're going to call it if it actually
I
becomes
mean, you
a
already
thing.
got Overflow, right? Overflow with Strongman? Wait, no, Overflow
You're not
doesn't
even
work with
doing that.
Strongman, never mind.
You're not even doing
No.
that. You're playing Survival of the Fittest.
Yeah, you're playing so I make a bunch of 8/8s or bigger.
Yeah, you're playing
That's above average.
112 stats on whatever turn after Survival of the Fittest.
And then if you just deck yourself out, you can throw Nomi in there for the ultimate.
Well, the real move is to play Omu,
Ooh.
and then you can do some really funky stuff.
See, this is why I like first week metas because they're just stupid and fun.
Yeah.
I think
like-
I got the best idea. Since you're
Okay.
drawing so many cards, you can play Elysiana with Innervate and Panda to bounce the
No.
Elysiana.
Oh my
So you
god.
can get even more survivals.
No, that doesn't sound like fun at all.
Why don't you just Elise at that point? You gotta Elise,
Yeah, exactly.
and then
Yeah,
Elysiana.
There we go.
So,
All right.
but anyways, Memnarch, I think this is yours.
Oh yeah, unlike Pro, the Wild Series chose not to use new cards for the rest of the season. Where do you stand on this decision?
I was the one kind of lobbied for the keeping us back in this old meta. There's a couple players on my team and I was fine either way. And since obviously I'm not playing anymore on the team, except for sub situations now, that there's a couple players on my team that are free to play, and I didn't want to give them a pressure of building new decks and trying to figure this out like this late into the season. So I figured, and it was kind of a team vote, and it was one of those things where it's like I was willing to go either way, but it's like we just decided as a team that we would prefer that the new cards not be included in the decks. So that's the way we were kind of leaning towards.
Yeah, I think a lot of us were feeling similarly. Like the thing is with Wild, like even though this is a low power set,
Mhm.
there are always things that can just tip a certain deck over the edge. Like how we saw in Scalomance with Flesh Giant.
Yeah.
The moment you added Flesh Giant
Aggro.
into Dark Lair Warlock, it broke.
Yeah.
And don't forget the Voracious Reader for Aggro Druid.
Yep, Voracious Reader for Aggro Druid too, where
Yeah.
now
Like,
Aggro Druid doesn't always die after you clear the first board.
yeah. Yeah. It's also like we had to make this, excuse me, we had to make this decision really early in the card reviews. Like, all the cards showed up in a week, and like this is before most of the cards showed up. So we were also trying to figure out, where do we want to be, like just in case there is like a like juicy Psych Melon situation. You know what I mean? Where it just made Combo Druid back when that card was revealed just absolutely ridiculous and like the deck to bring no matter what. Like, you just put Druid in your lineup and then like 3 other decks because Druid's going to get banned.
I actually don't think you would have brought that deck every week. I think it was one of the most overrated decks in Wild at the time, but that's a hot take for another time. Yeah, Starliner.
Oh man, I live that meta, so I can fight this, but that's for another time.
All right.
All I remember is I played that deck 3 times, and all 3 times I felt gross and I didn't like it, and I decided not to play it anymore.
Well,
that's just me, though.
Moving on, we have one final question for you. If another team were not in the running, who would you be rooting for in the Wild Series right now?
I still probably be rooting. Actually, if we weren't there, obviously A2 Battleship, they're the returning champs. They were definitely rooting for them, especially since they're in the far superior conference known as Brown. Simp for sure. We just beat them, but I did love the Bash Brothers because my co-host on my other former co-host on Hero Power Zeroshio is on there, and he's a good dude. And Pasca, even though we make fun of Pasca a lot on THL Pal, I gotta root for Power Creeps as well. So,
man, why do they hate for F2L?
It's just
you're
F2L. It's the villain narrative, man. You just gotta embrace it.
It's okay.
Isn't that your thing? Isn't that your thing?
It is. Because we forget to lose. We really have this season too. So
yeah, you guys are doing phenomenal. I'm actually very impressed. And unlike most history teams of history is going undefeated in the regular season and then losing in the first round, you guys are doing good.
Yeah, Wild is a different beast. So we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
Now we have our special preview on Darkmoon Faire cards. Should we get started?
Let's do it.
All right. First up, we have Insight. 2 mana pre-spell, draw a minion, corrupt, reduce its cost by 2. Where do you guys see this?
Oh yeah, it says draw a minion, so it, Reno Priest wants draw. It's almost a slam dunk. Like, this goes in it.
Yeah.
And the corrupt's just icing on the cake. Because that corrupt will almost always be active. Because if you want to use Insight to kill your opponent with Spawn and Shadows, you're playing Spawn first, then Insight is always going to be corrupted. So it turns into a 2 mana deal 12 at that point. And that's pretty good.
Yeah,
just a little.
Pretty good. Above average.
Yeah,
I think
slightly above average.
I think in Wild this card's fine. In Standard this card's actually hot garbage in my opinion.
I will disagree there. Priest will always take draw in Standard if they can.
Well, yeah, I guess, but I don't know.
We see it with Cleric of Scales, where you fit a dragon package just for Cleric of Scales, so that you can tutor your spells.
All right, maybe.
So,
I don't know. I'm willing to be wrong on this card, and I was wrong on the card review. Or no, I was mediocre on the card review. I think it's mediocre.
Yeah, any sort of draw Priest can get, it'll take. So, next up, we have another spell. It's Oh My Yogg. 1 mana secret. When your opponent casts a spell, they instead cast a random one of the same cost.
This one, man, I have no idea.
Honestly,
think it's worse never. Oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
I thought it was worse never surrender, but then it could be better never surrender. I don't even It really depends on what the spell being cast is.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you normally playing against Odd Paladin?
Clears.
Yeah, board clears, and this is stopping a board clear, essentially.
Yeah,
or it's turning into another board clear. We don't know.
Or they're coining into this and innervating.
But then it turns into a 0-cost spell, and are you really sad getting backstabbed or moonfired?
Kinda. I mean, I don't think this card... I think the fact that this card has the word Yogg on it is the only reason this card's getting attention.
I strongly disagree. I think that stopping a coin can be very important in key matchups, especially against things like Priest, where you want to stop things like Psychic Scream or Mass Hysteria.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, I'm just waiting for me to play this, and then my opponent's Mass Hysteria turns into an Excavated Evil.
Or a brawl.
Or a brawl, yeah.
Yeah, that is going to
I mean,
happen.
there's so many spells.
That's gonna happen.
The thing is, in those cases, is Never Surrender really saving you?
Yes.
Yeah. It depends
No.
on what the spell is.
Depends what the board state is. There we go.
It does.
Against the file, sure.
Oh, and this is just Murderous Defile. This is like 10 out of 10 in Defile.
Yeah, this will...
Also Dark Skies.
Yeah, this wrecks Warlock in particular, and Paladin struggles against Warlock right now. So, getting better in its worst matchup is a very good sign.
True. That helps.
So, I think that covers it for this card. Next up, we have a 2/2 Shaman, Cage Match, Custodian. This wasn't really getting as much attention in Standard as it was in Wild, I feel. This is like Shaman's premier wild card. Yes, it's probably Shaman's best Standard card from this set as well.
Oh, easily.
But I wouldn't say it has the same reach across Shaman archetypes as it does in Wild.
So there's no Shaman archetypes in Standard, so so...
I mean, you're going to run this in Evolved Shaman in Standard for sure.
Or actually Totem Shaman and Totem Shaman in Standard too as well, but Totem Shaman's not really a deck.
Well, is it Desert Hero
It's kind of a deck.
Yeah.
This is like that deck's coming back, and that made me quit Standard during that time. So,
well, luckily the 1-mana Evolve's not around. Oh wait,
it evolves your opponent's.
Yeah.
It also makes your opponent's minions worse while making yours better. So,
yeah, it's evolve and devolve at the same time.
It's just Volve.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, this is encouraging a lower curve and even Shaman. Like, I think, Memnarch, it was you that was saying that the only 4-cost card you're going to be running now is
Splitting Axe.
Yeah. And now you probably consider cutting things like Sea Giant? Because
like Sea Giant's iffy.
Yeah,
like I think you cut Sea Giant, but it's really it doesn't really cost 10. It barely costs 4 sometimes. Like, I'm gonna have to experiment to see whether 0, 1, or 2 is correct. I'm thinking I should try at least 1. Like, it's just hard to think of a deck. I'm like, even Shaman's is really gonna be low to the ground now, like really low.
Yeah, this
like it's gonna have, it's gonna cut everything that costs more than 2 basically. The curve ends at 2.
Yeah, it's
gonna be
weird.
Aggro Druid.
It's gonna be a very strange deck. So, and outside
this
of
is just good.
Yeah,
this is just good.
Aggro Shaman definitely wants this. I mean, Aggro Shaman needs help. Is this the help that this is the help it's getting? Is that gonna be enough? Probably not. Are people gonna try? Yes. Like, Aggro Shaman needs card draw, and it needs to get their like reach online quickly, and this does both kinda, but it loses board. Like, I'm not sure about it, but I'm going to be hopeful. Like, this might bring Aggro Shaman back.
Yeah, it's most likely going to bring Evolve Shaman back. Evolve Shaman right now still beats a lot of aggro on ladder. It just struggles against things like Priest. And while this isn't, like, saving that, you're getting one of your best cards from it.
Yeah, tutoring the weapon in Evolve Shaman is absolutely ridiculously huge.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to help even in your tougher matchups, because you're going to get to turn 5 and want to evolve into a big board and just pray that they don't have the clear. So, we'll see how it goes. Catharsis tutors Jade Claws. You are right. This goes in Jade Shaman too.
In the 2-year-old even Shaman deck, sure.
Yeah.
I can't believe we forgot about Jade Shaman.
Oh man, how could we? Anyways, we have another one coming up. This one's a legendary spell, Deck of Chaos. How you guys feeling?
I love this. I love this card just for the fact that it's just it's ridiculous. This is Solarium, the original design for Solarium, and they decided to just go ahead and do it.
Yep. They did.
I'm not sure it has. I mean, it has some applications in Wild as like kind of a scuffed Luna's Pocket Galaxy, but I think it's really good.
I feel like this is a standard card for first and foremost. It's going to enable Mali Druid. I mean, not Mali Druid, Warlock.
That was
It's
already
going to
enabled.
enable.
Yeah,
Oh,
get
yeah.
that.
Okay, it's going to enable it further.
I don't
In
know.
Reno Lock, people are going to put it in. I'm not sure if it's going to stay in. It's going to enable you to Zola and tap on turns you're going to play your high cost spells. Like, it flips the cost of, let me think, basically everything in the deck by at least 2 or more. Yeah, at least 2. So that means you can tap much easier than before, which in and of itself is pretty good. But is that worth the 6 mana do nothing? It's the real question. And does Reno Lock actually need the greed? It's another main question I also brought up. And I usually think it doesn't. Like, Reno Lock's already greediest deck in the meta besides Q-Block. Q-Block probably runs this because of the weapon. The Skull of... What was it? Skull of the Minari?
Yeah.
Yeah, Skull of the Minari. So this is a second Skull for Cube. It's going to be worse than Skull, but it's going to be very good still, because this will enable your big demon plus your cube in one single turn. Your Void Lord's going to be 3 mana, which means your cube, and it doesn't matter if it's... Your cube's going to be 5 or 4 mana, and that slots into basically every single demon you want to run. Enhanced Dreadlord has 5 attack, Void Lord has 3 attack. Mal'Ganis doesn't change its cost, but that's the only demon I'm aware of that is unaffected by the Skull, or the Deck of Chaos.
And I don't think we're going to be upset that Mal'Ganis doesn't get its cost lowered.
Yeah.
Are we ever playing Mal'Ganis for 9?
I mean, you weren't casting any of the other stuff for 9 either, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be experimented with heavily. It's going to be cut from some lists based on the meta. Like, this is a terrible, terrible anti-aggro card. Like,
See, I have the visions of making a spiteful summoner deck and playing the 4/7 that plays this for free on turn 8, and then just going from there. But by then, I'm most likely dead against most wild decks. So
You are. So
yeah, so
I
I'll
have
try it
visions
and
of-
lose ranks on it.
I have visions of giants hitting me in the face while Deck of Chaos gives me moral support. Hang in there, buddy.
Or
There's 2 more
hey,
turns until you can
Oh,
cast
wait,
me.
wait,
even
wait.
even Warlock 28 Molten Giants. There you go.
That's right.
I didn't think about
this
even Lock.
swaps Molten Giant's attack
Yep.
and cost.
Yeah, it makes
Those
free
are
Molten
some-
Giants that hit 'em- that hit for 20 if they live.
Those are some very big Molten Giants. I don't think that matters though.
No, it doesn't. By the time you're hitting with
No.
Molten Giants in that deck, you're winning anyway.
I mean, your curve in Even Lock ends at 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're
I think it
playing
ends at-
Giants for free.
Actually, Zehe. Zehe is the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, curve ends at 4.
Yeah, Zehe becomes like a 5 mana card.
It's no longer even.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
but it's fine because there's no even payoffs besides the hero power.
yeah,
So
you're fine. The only card that makes bad is no, it makes the 4 mana 4/4 fine still because it's still 4/4. Yeah,
yeah, because that turns into a 4 mana 7/7 later on.
yeah.
So no,
I think
will
we're all
have to
forgetting
see.
about the biggest downside, the Deck of Chaos.
6 mana do nothing.
Turns your Cobalt Librarians into a 2 mana 1/1. Deal 2 to yourself. Draw a card.
Yeah, let's still play it.
That sounds
Hey.
like something that Shaman would receive, but it's still too good for Shaman.
I know.
See, but then again, I'm also thinking of cards like Summoning Portal, which comes 0 mana 4/4.
Yeah, no, I don't want to play Summoning Portal with this. That's
No.
that's way too Johnny
That's-
for
that's-
me. I'm gonna leave that
that's-
for Mark MK or Mark MK, whatever his name is. He's
Yeah,
the
there
kind
you
of
go.
guy that would do it at like silver 10. So,
Hey, that's where I live too. Come on.
all right, moving on. We have a mage card, Occult Conjurer. What's your opinion on this?
This card feels like bait.
I have
4
to agree.
mana. Your curve and secret mage literally ends at 3.
Yeah,
I feel like that other 2 mana card, your secrets cost 1, is much better. Because that actually replaces your Kirin Tor.
yeah, it's basically Kirin Tor Mage.
Yeah.
Hmm.
This also you have to control the secret too. So if you have 0 secrets on turn 4, you're just gonna feel bad. You play your underpowered Yeti and wonder where it all went wrong. Like
Something tells me 4 mana, 8/8 stats is not going to be insane in Secret Mage.
Well, there's also a difference between 4 mana 8/8 and 4 mana 2/4/4s.
Well,
You know what I mean? 4/4s
Well-
are like not nearly as scary as an 8/8 and turn
we're
4.
also past the point of where Mountain Giant on turn 3 is scary.
Yeah.
Like, no one cares about 8/8 stats on turn 3 anymore. Aggro just kills you, and Control
goes
just
right by it.
says bye and kills
Yep.
it on the spot.
Yep. This is like even in standard, I think this card's bait.
In Standard, this is fine.
wow.
It's okay. I
feel
don't
like
think
this
it's
is-
gonna-
I feel
Some
like
of these
you
secrets-
need this in standard, I thought, because you
Yeah.
don't have the 0 mana 5/5s.
Yeah, you need this in Standard. This is fine in Standard. It's not going to do anything in Wild, though. This is just a pure
No.
Standard card. And Secret Mage might very well be a thing in Standard, in my opinion, but that's
I
another
mean,
topic.
Its card's brute forcing it. Let's just like I think that's the most brute force archetype I've seen in a while
Yeah,
for standard.
yeah. So, I think that sums it up for this card. There's not much else to really say. So, on to the next one. Palm Reading. Discover a spell, reduce the cost of spells in your hand by 1. How are we feeling about this one?
All right. I feel like this is gigabait.
Yeah, I don't think
Like-
this goes in Reno Priest at all. I think this is a big priest card, if anything.
Yeah, this is a big priest card for sure because like compare this to Renew.
1 mana,
Well-
discover a spell, heal 3.
Yeah.
I think that's just strictly better. Like you could have your entire hand be spells and have this discount everything. You're super happy, but what are the chances your entire hand is spells, not minions? And what are the chances that those you're casting that 1 mana is going to be relevant to the like priest spells? Generally are very high costed. You generally just play them all in a single turn. You just spend your entire turn playing the spell, right? Like you mass hysteria at 4 could be nice, but you're not doing anything besides that. So you're playing a turn early, but
Yeah, that's why I think it goes in big priest. I think maybe like it makes shadow visions or whatever. The
Shadow Word Essence.
shadow essence, whatever the thing that summons a 5/5 out of your deck. A turn earlier is not awful.
Mm-hmm.
It's a turn
This was
5
Vargoth.
cards. Yeah,
this with Vargoth is actually pretty good.
it's not bad. You get 2 cards and two reduction. Yeah.
I think 2 reductions more because Mike V, is that you?
What?
Oh, never mind. I thought I heard you.
You were saying?
Anyway, the getting a 7 mana mass resurrection, that's really good because at 9 mana is basically that's your entire turn. At 7, you are basically playing a spellstone, mid-tier spellstone.
And this powers up your spellstones too with the discover a
Yeah,
spell
That's right.
as a spell. So
So-
I think it's a big priest card for sure.
Yeah.
That's if big priest is actual deck in wild anymore.
No, it's going to come back with vengeance.
With this card, exactly.
Mm,
Actually,
about
the other stuff is scarier for
yeah.
priest.
I mean, it's still wreaking havoc at like silver 10, so maybe.
Trust me on this. All right, so the big priest is going to run the Rubian Unravelers, Hakars, and they're going to lock your opponent out and kill them slowly with bloods. And since they never draw a single card, they're always going to be ahead in fatigue, or have more cards in your deck.
You know,
I just
thought that.
threw it in that deck.
I thought that too, but I have beaten Big Priest with Bomb Warrior.
That shouldn't be possible.
I did.
Did they AFK half the game?
No, it was a big burn priest actually. The Mali Velen kind, where they healed for like 30 or 40 through the entire thing, and they still died. So
nice.
And they were top 25, so they're not bad. So I don't know. Anyways, moving on. We have a card where I think we're pretty torn on this one, actually. Carnival Barker. Whenever you summon a 1 health minion, give it +1/+2.
So, this is either the best card in Odd Paladin or the worst card.
I really can't
I don't
tell.
think there's going to be a middle ground.
I can't tell either. I think it's maybe slightly better than the 3/3 currently in there. What is it? Steward?
Yeah.
Where this plays around Defile much better. But it's also a 3/2, and 2 health gets removed really easily.
You don't need this to live more than a turn, though.
No, but this isn't a turn 3 play like Stewardess can be.
No.
This is a turn 4 play. This is only a turn 3 play if you played Tour Guide the previous turn.
Mm-hmm. And even then, you're probably spamming the button the turn before anyway.
Yeah.
Which is better.
I think it's solid. It does work with patch. Like, do we still run deckhanded patches in that deck?
We do not. There's no space.
And
you run
there's no
Crystology,
space
so you don't want to draw
Oh, yeah.
patches from Crystology. It's just bad.
Actually, this will make a wicked broom turn.
It will.
Oh, yeah.
It will, but that means you have to wait until the late game, and by then, is Paladin winning?
I'd hope so.
If it's against another aggro deck, I think it might, but against Control,
It's not
probably
getting
not.
there.
You don't run the new legendary in Odd Paladin, do you?
God.
Probably not.
That card is also extremely divisive because
Yeah, but
like
every
the effect's insane. It's
you have to
just
draw it.
that it needs to, do something. It's basically a 5 mana like make stats on board play. So if you're ahead on board against an aggro deck, that's insane. If you're against a priest or against a control deck, it's insane. But when you're losing, it's terrible. And like,
Oh, if you're losing as Odd Paladin, your power sucks anyway. So
yeah, like you want a broom. Like people say it's like either the best card, it's like an anti-control tech, or it's unplayable trash. So
Yeah, it's going to be very
again, it's
hard to
another
tell.
one that you have to. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Reminds me a lot of Blessing of Authority, where people weren't sold on it in Odd Paladin at first.
Mm-hmm.
But that turned out to be the nuts, so maybe this is the same? Probably not, but...
I remember I got it because people thought it was just worse. What was that card? Faceless Corruptor.
Yes.
Yeah, but it turns out that 9 power is a lot better, or a 5 mana 9/9 is a lot better than 2 5 mana 4/4s.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, and finally, we have one last card. This is a special one. Yogg Sarin, Master of Fate. This is the only old guard we wanted to discuss. Probably the only one that we feel is going to have an impact in Wild. How do we feel about it?
I feel like J Druid wants this.
Yeah, Jade Druid wants this a lot.
Yeah, it's because like when you're ahead, you don't play it. When you're behind, you have like 70 armor. Your opponent probably doesn't. You're gonna fireball the hell out of him and kill him. 5% of the time, I think.
5% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah.
there you go.
Checks out.
And then the other 35% of the time, you're swinging the board heavily into your favor.
Yeah, it's just...
I think 60% of the time, you're losing anyway, so why bother? So you might as well take the chance, right?
Might as well.
I think this card's sweet, but I don't think it's that good.
Matt coming
No,
out
it's
with the
gonna be
hot
like-
takes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's like like I don't know, like you'll play this with like 2 outcomes in mind, and you'll get one of the other 3, and feel bad. I think it's not great. And you like
This
there's like
is
I don't know.
this is a terrible card to play while you're ahead.
And
This
they care
is-
terrible card to. Yeah, and also like the Rod of Roasting's awful when you're behind anyway.
Rod of Roasting
Not
when you're
necessarily.
behind.
Oh
Not as
yeah,
Jade
you're just
Druid.
gonna.
Not as Jade
True.
Druid, because when you're behind as Jade Druid, you still have like 75 health, and you can take quite a few hits to your face. So it's not as bad in standard, or as in standard, when it comes to Rod of Roasting.
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like Rod of Roasting is it's going to steal a game in Master Tour. It's going to steal a game in GM. There's going to be a massive molding. There's going to be lots of rage. All
Yeah.
from this card.
Yeah,
Just wait.
I don't know.
Just
I don't know.
wait.
It's going to
This
be
card-
randomly discovered in the finals of the Wild Series and be played for the final game win.
I want to see
I
that
mean, you have to
happen.
cast 10 spells. So if you randomly discover this, this is not it. This isn't like an instant pick.
I
don't
want to
know
see
even
how
how
you can.
I don't even know how you like randomly generate this card other than like forbidden shaping and like shadow
All
step.
right, so on turn 2, you play Justice. You get
And you go for
Brightwing.
Brightwing, and you get it off of Brightwing.
There we go.
You found the lines.
There we go.
Oh.
Everybody and everybody put Bright Wings in your deck this week.
No, we
Just
put
run
Zephyrs
Zephyrs.
in the deck to get the Brightwings.
Yeah, you
Oh,
play
there we
Zephyrs
go.
on 2, and you get Brightwing automatically. So easy.
There we go. Easy.
Anyways, so that is our coverage on some cards. That took a lot of our show, actually. But fortunately, we don't have much to cover this week. So let's move on to playoff recaps. First up, we have a Neo team versus Bash Brothers.
All right. Now this was really close. 13-12 going to a Noyo team. They barely managed to get it out, or to squeak to win. Looks like Mike V, and oh no, Mike. Looks like Duin lost to Reverb, but Mr. Python, MTG Squirrel beat Mr. Python. Mike V lost to Gelstorm. Slate and Yada both beat their opponents, Horatio and Nubinator. Well, so Mike V, do you want to talk about what your guys' plan was, or you want to talk about this in general?
MTG Squirrel, Slight, and Yada all won before me and Dewin played, so luckily it took the pressure off us. I want to give a lot of props to Jailstorm. I have sleep issues. A lot of sleep issues. Like I stay up for days at a time, and we scheduled the match for Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific, and I forgot. I thought it was at 6 p.m. and in the hour I was waiting, I managed to doze off. I hadn't slept in 2 days, and I woke up at like 4 in the morning, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I missed this match." And I contacted him, and he was like, "Listen, I don't want to win that way. It's a playoff match, and considering his team was already down 2 matches to none, for him to not take the easy match, I have a lot of respect for that. So I have a lot of respect for him. And we played it out, and he won anyways, but still, he was taking a risk. And yeah, I mean, that's the THL spirit right there, But my match didn't go well in terms of the actual gameplay. I know Dewin had a tough time, but yeah, MTG Squirrel Slate and Yada pulled it out, so good for them. And you know what? Yada actually accidentally rolled over his decks. So we're lucky that turned out okay. But yeah, he pulled it out.
Do they never
13-12.
suspect the rollover?
They never suspect the rollover.
I mean, unless they do suspect it, but then sometimes they don't.
All I'm going to say is the rollover helped me quite a bit this week.
Oh yeah.
I brought a spicy pick, so.
Yeah. Going into the last 2 matches, we were up 3-0. So like we were up ahead, and like the best they could do was tie, and we had the win advantage. So we had already won the match at that point. But yeah, We didn't want it to be that close.
No.
You take what you can get. So
Exactly.
on to the next. Got Seas of Cheese versus Battleship 2 BBC. This was also very close. 14-12. Score doesn't tell the whole story though. Big news is that Seas of Cheese actually took 3 of these matches. All 3-2. But the 2 games that Battleship 2 did win were sweeps. And the combination of points in those 3-2 games, along with the 2 sweeps from Corvette and Arhat, were able to put Battleship over the top to bring them into the semifinals. Sunday stepped in for, I believe, Figurin this week and got the 5-game win over A2 Battleship. Congrats to them. Great to see a sub stepping in so late and doing well. Slad finishing up at 7-3, excellent record. And Battleship continues to shift around in its seeds. Everyone is just moving around. Arhat out of the 5 seed again for this upcoming week. Base shifting down. Corb stepping in and taking the 1 seed. That'll be interesting to watch. So look out for that.
Gotta love the win dirty games, especially when you're down 3 and you pick up those 2 sweeps to put you over the edge.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah, this was a very close one. Battleship showing a little bit of weakness, but they are still very strong. So, with that said, we do have to keep moving on. There's 2 more matches to cover. We have Power Creeps versus Simp up next.
All right, so this one was a Power Creeps win. JR taking it over Snake Fods. Snake Fods have an awesome season this season.
Ooh.
Just got rolled.
Oh, I think I have the wrong matches here. My mistake.
Uh-oh.
Let me fix this real quick. Yeah, please keep going.
All right. Skittles continuing the good season, but ending the season here. Jonah Raw taking the loss. Skittles taking the win. GM Rami sweeping Nefola. Rami's good. Memnarch taking the sweep. And then Pasca taking the win. As much as we dunk on Pasca on THFL, he got the win and pushed the Power Creeps over the edge. 14-9, solid win. And GG's to Simp. You guys were a really tough team to play, and it was fun playing you guys. And sorry you guys couldn't continue make it a 3 quarters brown finals,
So I do have
semifinals.
one question here.
Yeah.
Memnarch, what happened?
All right. Well, I hate my life. So,
I thought you were the best 4. I thought you were the best 4 seed around.
I mean, I technically still am stat-wise.
I don't think that's possible.
I'm pretty sure
No,
Itachi's
I'm
over
still.
you.
Really?
He is. He's
I
7-2.
guess I'm. Oh.
Yeah,
Maybe
we are
not
all
then.
7-2. So, friendly reminder.
Anyway, Reno Priest betrayed me. That's all I have to say.
It tends to do that.
What a shame. Yeah,
God, brick draws on Reno Priest are the worst.
I am looking now, and he has a 24-13 record over
I think-
your 21-19 record, Memnarch. So you gotta step it up.
Mm-hmm. No, don't worry, I will.
I don't know about that. So before we get into that, though, we have one last match: Wild THL Fanatics versus F2 Viridian. This was a fun one.
Can I say, when you were scrolling through those matches, did I see the Grimscale gang?
Oh, you saw nothing.
I don't even know why that was in there.
You saw nothing.
Anyways, Wild THL Fanatics versus F12 Viridian. F12 Viridian taking it 20-5. Wild THL Fanatics, last year's runner-up, making it pretty far, proving that they are still a playoff team. But yeah, F12 Viridian showing 7-2 records all the way down. Ultimate sweeping Electric Sheep City 3-0. MartyB winning close 1-3-2 over Draco Cat. Neji Boston winning 3-0 over Brian O'Brien. Tachi winning 3-2 over Unlimited Power. And Rod Zabi winning 3-1 over Dr. Bomb. Dr. Bomb having a tough season, 3-7. Yeah, this was a pretty not a close match at all. But I don't know what else there's much to say about this. F12 Viridian bringing 5 mages, 4 priests, and 5 warlocks. Yeah, I mean, just not a close match at all. I'm assuming that these quarterfinals will be a lot more tightly contested. So
Yeah, I do want to say there's some interesting brings on both sides. Electric Sheep City went more towards aggro. Draco Cat went for a Reno Priest counter. Brian O'Brien was a bit all over the place with his picks, bringing things like Malygos Druid alongside Secret Mage, which was interesting. And I mean, I can just mainly talk about my matchup in particular. I saw that Draco Cat was going for a priest target, so I figured, let me see how the last few opponents did against him and what they brought. I noticed that things like Lunaspot Galaxy Reno Mage did pretty well, and that's because it does very well into decks like Bomb Warrior, despite the Highlander requirement. And then through our testing, we realized Mech Paladin was really good against some of his decks. So we went with that. And it worked out very well. He came on top, 3-2. And Draco Cat played extremely well, I have to say. There wasn't much he could really do in a lot of those matches. He scammed me pretty hard in one game, and props to him. It was a very well fought match. And really, all of these matches, it looks very lopsided, but Wild THL Fanatics are a very good team. There's a reason why they were able to make it into the playoffs. They just had an unfortunate run in the toughest division, or the toughest conference in the Wild Series this season, in my opinion. And
wait, they weren't in brown.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we're going by
let's see
points, the best
Yeah.
teams, and just who made it into playoffs, all 4 teams that had made it into the wild card round or playoff bye from green made it into the playoffs.
Yeah, but you were playing blue, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Were
no,
we though?
no,
We were not.
I think we knocked. No, wait, did we? Who did we knock out? I forgot.
No, literally, it was like Brown has been playing Brown this entire town. Like,
Yeah.
we've been playing Brown teams. So you knocked out Simp. Green knocked out, Green knocked out Simp. That's about it.
Brown's been playing brown teams,
Yeah,
I don't know,
except
man.
for Bash Brothers.
yeah, we played Bash Brothers and knocked them out.
I don't know. I still
But-
gotta give it to green. So we'll see. You will see.
We'll see what happens in
And
2
look
weeks.
look what happens when you play a green team. You win 20-5.
Well, we're also by far.
Yeah, you guys are F2 Alvaridian. You're just doing F2 Alvaridian things there.
Yeah. Embrace
The villain
the
narrative.
Yes, forgot to
Exactly.
lose. So, with that said, let's take a quick look at the playoff bracket. We have F12 versus Power Creeps coming up next. And Hattleship versus Ionoa teams. So it's green conference teams versus brown conference teams. Blue is out. Bash Brothers were eliminated by your team, Ionoa team. Mattatarms, Mike V. So
Yep.
blue is gone. So we're left with 2 green and 2 brown.
As it should be.
I mean,
Yeah.
I feel really bad for Brown because they're basically just playing for second place at this point. Like, I hate to say it.
It is true.
Yeah.
Like, this is the week to watch. So.
Yeah,
how it goes.
the winner's going to be on the green side. That's why, or the brown side. Sorry.
You had it right the first time.
No, I didn't. No, I
mean,
didn't. No, I didn't.
okay.
I was wrong.
So on the stream, I have a green background. Do you know why? Because green is better. It's superior. It's just facts.
All right.
All right. See, you get it.
Take
now.
your word for it. I'll
There you
take your
go.
word for it.
There you go. So,
We'll find out. We'll find out in 2 weeks how it really goes.
well, we can get on with our hot takes in predictions now, actually. And we can make some weird calls. So, first up, we have F2 Viridian versus Power Creeps.
All right, F2 Viridian versus Power Creeps. In matchup 1, we have Ultimate versus Jack. We have 3 picking Jack and 1 picking Ultimate, with everyone picking Jack except for Marty, who picked Ultimate. In the 2 seed, we have Marty versus Jonah. We have everyone picking Marty except for Memnarch, who picked Jonah Rod. There's gonna be some sort of pattern here. I'm not gonna say what it's gonna be, but we're gonna be able to see it. In the 3 seed, we have a split. 2 of us taking Net Rami, 2 of us taking Neji Boston.
Can we get that match on stream? That's a phenomenal match.
Yeah, that is
Really
a phenomenal match. I picked Neji Boston, Marty picked Neji Boston, and Memnarch and Mattatarms picked Rami. In the 4 seed, we have Itachi versus Memnarch. Me and Memnarch picked Memnarch, and Marty and Mattatarms picked Itachi. And in the 5 seed, we have Rotted Zombie versus Pasca. We have everyone taking the Rotted Zombie except for Memnarch, who took Pasca, surprisingly. So, I picked a 3-2 win for F2L. Memnarch picked a sweep for Power Creeps. Shocking. Marty picked a sweep for F2L. And Mattatarms picked a 3-2 win for... No, wait.
For F2L.
For F2L, yeah. 3-2 win for F2L.
So
We've got 4 for F2L, or I'm sorry, 3 for F2L and 1 for Power Creeps.
So 2 things I want to say. One, Rami is most likely going to stream his matches. He usually does on his own channel. So if anyone wants to watch, as long as they don't mind the Spanish. He has a large Spanish following who watch his wild games. And I know I had my match streamed when I played against him. So it's very likely that you will be able to watch that match on stream. Second thing.
That's gonna be sick match.
Second thing, because I have the memory of a goldfish, I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
Jack also streams. So there's a fairly high chance he's going to stream his match. Jonah sometimes streams his match. Pasca and me never do it. So... Also, we could get another Friday night fight where everything's just decided then.
Yeah, we will see. Oh, I do remember now. Okay. Memnarch and I both have sweeps for our respective teams, but I do want to point out who was right about the sweep last.
It's been... I will say that not a lot of time has passed, but I think the playoffs are different. I think the playoffs bring out a
sweep in the
difference.
playoffs.
Not against Power Creeps, though.
We did sweep in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. Okay,
This
moving
is,
on. We have one more match to cover. Battleship 2 BBC versus a Noyo team.
All right.
Matt?
Sure. So, Duin versus Corbett is a match that should be streamed. If it's not, that's criminal. Split both ways for Duin and Corbett, so it's kind of split there. Base Dink versus Squirrel. 3-1 Base Dink, and I'm kind of voting for Base Dink as well.
What the hell?
Based is ridiculous. She's phenomenal. She's probably the best. She's an outstanding player. Bill Snyder, Mike versus Mike V. Split Mike V or Bill Snyder. This is going to be another fun match. I'd like to watch this one too. Arhat versus Slight. Still, we cannot get the Aussies to play each other. I just can't. It just will never work in this.
I know.
Never does.
Yeah, but we do have a split Slight versus Ridiculous, or split 2-2 Slight and Arhat. And A2 Battleship versus Yada. Everybody's going Yada, which scares me.
Yada's also Australian.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It is. But I do have faith in Yada in that matchup. I think he's going to pull through.
I do too.
So
I do too. I love A2. He's a local guy. If
anyone gets a chance when Yada streams, because he does stream occasionally, dudes drop by. He's a great streamer, great content guy. Just such a chill atmosphere.
Wait, did you say Yada's Australian?
Yeah.
I
He
think
called me out for not knowing any slang. And he said he was a Ripper legend, among other things that I can't remember.
Did he mention anything about bin chickens?
Probably did. Like, I can't speak Australian.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all speak dingo down there.
Anyway, in the previous two matchups with this, Battleship beat us 31 to 19. So it's not looking good for us, but I think we'll pull it out. The biggest change is the fact that I'm not playing. I think that'll help. I think that'll help our team a lot, and I think we're gonna. I have us going 3. I have us winning 3-2 in a close series.
Yeah,
So.
I got a sweeping, and then Memnarch and NHL both have Battleship winning, but I'm not surprised about that. I think it's going to be closer than people think.
I literally put 3-2. It doesn't get closer than that.
Yeah, no, I think you think it's going to be close. Sorry, Marty doesn't think it's going to be close, but I think in general, I think it's going to be a close series. Either way, it'll be close. So
I'm looking forward to this I'm looking forward to both these matches. I think both these matches are worth paying attention to and seeing as many games as we can on stream, because they're going to be tight. And I'm actually rooting for F2L to lose, but I don't see it happening this round.
Wow, thanks. Well, there is one last thing I do want to say before we go. Slate mentioning Yada isn't Aussie.
He isn't. That's what I said. When you said Yada's an Aussie, I was playing with Yada the other day. He was making fun of Yada's accent. He was trying to imitate him as much as he could. He's from California.
Yeah.
He's a California. I feel about this now. I feel betrayed.
That just means all your picks are wrong. That's all it means.
Yeah.
No. Those are fine. This is something entirely. This is completely unrelated. This is more about like questioning life decisions here. Like, did I have the right breakfast today? Did I make sure to brush my teeth?
I mean, you're already decided breakfast is 3 hours, right?
Did he sound like he was Australian when you were playing with him, Memnarch?
He said a bunch of slang, so I just assumed.
Because he was trying to do an Australian accent when I was on stream, where I was playing with him, and it was not good.
Well,
but he's from California.
Well, with that said, I think we take a hint from Top Gear, and on that bombshell, end the show.
Yep.
So that is everything for tonight.
All right, Mattatarms, thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yep. Marty, thank you for OPing. Memnarch, thank you for being on as always. And we got 2 weeks left, so appreciate all the viewers and anybody who listens to the show during the week. Everybody have a fantastic evening.
Yeah, take care.